Hi. So,
Mountain has received thus far. I'm wondering what that says about the cultural climate in America where the country can embrace a film like this.
Well, it says that it's an embraceable film. It's a very embraceable film, at least we feel. Very embraceable. It crosses all demographics so far. I mean, it plays in conservative places and in liberal places, and we think that's the humanity of the film that make that happen.
But why now? Why not 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
Well, because we made it now.
we tried for 9 years.
We tried for a while, but we made it now.
Yeah.
Was there a convergence, though, a cultural convergence that allowed it?
No.
No,
It was a talent convergence that allowed it. Money, our director, our actors, the studio, Focus Features, everyone, we just sort of converged at the same time. We'd had the screenplay since 1997. We had been struggling to get it produced, but once Aang came on board and Focus got the money, and then we began to cast it pretty quickly, but it was a rocky road up to that point.
This film has received so much publicity, a lot of controversial comments about it. Can you talk about what you hope the message that you would like this film to get across to people who are willing to see it, and maybe even people who are a bit timid to
I
see
don't
the
think
film?
there's a messagey line in the whole script or the whole film. It's not about any message. It's a human story, and it's a love story. It champions no agenda, gay, straight, whatever. The women are just as miserable as the men. The men are just as miserable as the women. And it's not a message. It has no message.
No, I mean, it's about so many things. Of course, it's about two men who fall in love and the repercussions of that in the time and place. It's also about loneliness.
Larry and Diana, over here. David Cohen from Variety. Hi, wanted to say hello. It's good to see you.
Good to see
Glad
you.
you made it back here.
Wherever you are.
Once again, a Variety article got posted on the Huffington Post today about the good box office the movie is doing in places like Sioux Falls and other places in the so-called red states. And then the comments that followed were this unbelievable spewing of bile. Why does the web administrator on this site want to pump the gay agenda? I'm wondering how much of this have you had to face, and how do you feel about it when it does come to your attention directly?
Well, we haven't had to face that much of it. We anticipated a bit, but, we can't help that. Not everyone will like this film. Not everyone likes any film.
But most people will like this film.
Right. I mean, it's a compelling movie. It's moving. It's very subtle, but it's also very severe.
If Focus came to you and asked you to write a sequel, what would you write for Heath's love life in the future?
Goodness, Heath is sort of a doomed man, really. I mean, I think Annie actually wrote a subsequent short story about Ennis, in which he appears. He actually winds up living with his daughter.
Does it make you want to write a happy gay love story?
No,
There aren't very many of them.
That's true. But are there very many happy love stories at all?
Life isn't for sissies. It's tough, whether you're gay or straight. And
What is for sissies?
Life
isn't for sissies.
Whether you're gay or straight, it's a difficult road. It's a hard road.
No, you say, it's Jeannie Wolf, how are you?
Hi.
You say you anticipated some controversy, but it seemed to me that even before anyone saw this movie, they expected more controversy, actually, than they got. And Aang tonight said he didn't like the term gay cowboy movie because it seemed comical and it wasn't a deep enough way to describe this movie. But from the beginning, that's been the label.
It's a very reductive term. It's sort of like saying Lonesome Dove is a story about a cattle drive. It's clearly a story about two men who fall in love. That's gay, but
It's also about the women they're married to.
it's about all of them. It's a very,
And it has disarmed expectations. People probably go into the theater, a lot of them, expecting one thing, and they don't find it. They find something much more embracing, much more complicated, much more moving, I would hope.
when Larry and I first read this story, it moved us so deeply for so many reasons, but one of the main reasons is the writing was so good. But it was a story Larry feels a very important story about the West. It's about a story about the West, but it's also so many other things. You know, I was touched immediately when I read the story about a doomed love between two young ranch hands in Wyoming in 1963. Matthew Shepard was killed a year after we wrote the screenplay. You know, these things happen. We wanted this movie to be as emotionally honest as it could be. And we feel with the convergence of folks that we've had with our Brokeback family, the people who've come on board, and the people who championed the movie, we've done that. I mean, it's really a moving film.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
I'm going to step on the train.